Welcome back to the Monday HR Madness show, where the HR wisdom is hot, and so is my Earl Grey tea. Last Monday, we dove into AI for small businesses, built an employee handbook live. So if you want to see that, go back to it, and survived an eyebrow meltdown on camera. This week, we're talking HR. We're taking HR to the next level. If you're a small business owner or you just want fewer staff headaches, stick around. I've got five power moves that will save you time, money, and your sanity. And yes, AI is back as my unpaid intern. So let's get started. The specific topics are AI and HR Part 2, how small businesses can safely use AI. Number 2, I'm going to talk about how to build a simple employee handbook in one afternoon without screaming. Number 3, the real first HR policy every small business should create. And number four, HR crisis prevention, how AI plus your existing documents can predict your next 3 problems. Well, that one's out there. I don't know if I'll be able to answer that properly. And number 5, HR marketing for small business owners. Why every owner needs at least one digital product. Sorry, nose problems. So, as always, my name is Ian Hopfe. I'm an HR consultant here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and you're watching the HR Pro live, Ian the HR Pro live podcast, where I'm dangerously unscripted, especially when you make a comment in make a question in the comments. Ask your questions in the comment. My God, Monday morning and I can't talk. I guess I'm a bit nervous. I'm kind of changing up the format a little bit. I'm trying to have at least an outline for every show, so I'm not as rambly. You know what I'm going to talk about today? That's what we're going to talk about. If you need to get a hold of me for anything, especially if you need to get my ebook on how to stop staff drama in only 5 days, go to all my links. That takes you to the link, to my link tree, where all my links are. You can also book a discovery call there if you want to speak to me directly, and we'll see how we can work together. If you want to be on the show, you can also book a discovery call, and I'll get you on the show sometime. If you're a small business owner, I want to see you on the show. Of course, my Linktree account is linktr.ee/Ian the HR Pro. Everything there that you need to get a hold of me. We can hide that. Oops. So, let's open up the show notes again here so I can read them verbatim. No, just kidding. So, number one topic today. AI in HR. This is kind of the part 2 from last week. How small businesses can safely use AI without breaking laws or ethics. Follow up to last week's discussion. Let me know if the volume's too high too in the comments. I just gotta turn it down a little bit for me. If I'm getting any feedback with the music. I like to hear the music also. Oh boy. So when you're using AI, it's easy to say, create me this document, and then you just use that document, right? There's no guarantee that it's following the rules and things like that, right? So what you always want to do is make sure your AI understands the local rules in your area. Say if you're creating I don't know, some sort of document, and there's government regulations, laws, legislation, whatever in your area, get a copy of that, feed it into the AI. With ChatGPT, I type in, here's some background info, I'm going to ask you a question, and attach that file. And ChatGPT is going to say, okay, great. And if you've already trained ChatGPT on who you are and what you do, it'll say, great, I can use this to do something like this related to what you've already been doing, right? Like, it's pretty intuitive. But now you're going to ask it the question, right? I want to create some handbook. I want to create some instruction manual or whatever it is, right? And you want to make sure you're avoiding plagiarism. So you want to tell AI, if you're getting specific information from someplace else, please include a link so that I can acknowledge the source, right? You always want to reference your sources if you're using AI for stuff. And sometimes it's even good if you're worried about a certain phrase or topic or something, right? Pop it into Google and see what comes up. And if there's something specifically that comes up that your AI hasn't referenced for you, then you need to correct that. And the newest version of ChatGPT, I think we're on 5.1 right now, is pretty good. I think it's somewhere in the range of 4 to 6% where it kind of fibs stuff, makes stuff up. And that's way better from the 4. And I think as we move further and forward, it's going to avoid less and less on just making stuff up that's correct or incorrect, right? But you want to feed all your writing and all your current documents into ChatGPT or whatever AI you happen to be using to help you with the writing. And primarily, you want the AI to just create drafts for you. You got a good solid draft. Now you take this back to your team or your boss or whatever. Excuse me. And my cat's looking at me all weird. What do you want? Why are you looking at me? I gave you food. It's downstairs. I always feed them before I come live. She's just staring at me. Crazy cat. Anyway, so then you take that draft and you go back to your team and you work through it. Maybe you want to change just the tone of it, or maybe you're using big words. You can ask ChatGPT to write your draft at a certain grade level. Please make it easy to read for someone who's in grade 5. And in North America, the average reading level is somewhere between 5 and grade 7, somewhere in there, right? So I always try to pick grade 5 or grade 6 or something like that. Then I know it's going to use smaller words, easier words that are more understandable. Because too often if you're a guy like me, you get into policy and you start using all the big words, and it's just like, This is a mess. This is hard to read, right? This is because you got to really think what that big word means. I know I've read books. God, my head is just itchy. I have read books where I've had to sit with the dictionary, right? I don't do this as much anymore. I've gotten better. You can see my dictionary right down on that shelf behind the computer, on the other wall in the office. But book series like The Wheel of Time, when I started reading them when I was in grade 9, I had to have a dictionary near me because Robert Jordan used some pretty big words sometimes, especially if I was in grade 9. Basically, I credit The Wheel of Time for improving my comprehension when I was in grade 9. I think at that point I was just kind of getting by, but I really improved my reading comprehension a lot. I don't know about my spelling, but my comprehension certainly went up. So, yeah, you want to avoid that plagiarism. You want to just use it for drafts primarily. You know, it's because humans still need to make the final decision on the stuff that you produce with AI. I think in the not too distant future, we may not have to worry about that as much because those concerns we have are being programmed into our AIs, right? So it's this constant learning process with AI. Oh, it's getting cool. I feel it soothing my throat. The Earl Grey tea. So you don't want to break any laws, but just so, right, you want to make sure everything is in there. And sometimes when it comes to HR policies that concern people within an organization, the legislated rules, regulation, laws are usually the bare minimum. You always want to be a couple steps better than the bare minimum. So if you create a policy book that just regurgitates the law, I mean, that's not very useful. You should create an HR policy book that says this organization follows all local rules and labor standards, and then put in a couple links where these are the rules you follow, right? These are our basic rules. We always follow this. This document is where we have gone above and beyond to help support our employees better, right? That's a great way to get this going. And then just when you talk about certain areas of the legislation, I know in Alberta we talk about holidays, and you don't get to take your holidays until you've earned them all after the first year. So after that first year, you've earned a week of holidays, but you don't get any holidays in the first year. So you could say all employees start with 1 week of vacation, right? So they could use this singular week in the first year. And then the following year, the second year of employment, they get that legislated week of holidays. So in the second year, they actually have 2 weeks vacation already. Or however it's set up. I can't remember how many. I think we get 1. Then after like 3 years, you get 2 or something. Oh, God. I haven't looked at the legislation in so long. I don't remember how many weeks there are, but you want to you kind of want to be nice, right? some sort of personal day leaves, paid days off. You could go above and beyond and say you get 5 days a year for other personal and or religious days off. That way, people of a different faith from you in Alberta, Canada, we tend to follow Christian holidays, right? So if someone is not Christian, then they have the ability to have days off on their holy days, right? And that's a great way to run an organization. But you always kind of want to go above and beyond. The same with minimum wage. Minimum wage for adults in Alberta is $15. Sorry, yawn. So the minimum wage in Alberta is $15, but the living wage, if someone wants to survive on their own, is more like $21, $22 an hour. So where do you sit with that, right? Guaranteed by law, you have to pay minimum wage. And if you have underage, like from, I think it's 16 and 17-year-olds working for you, you can pay them, I think it's 12. I don't even know, because I don't care. Why would I pay a teenager less money than I would pay an adult? It's actually a disgusting way to profit for an organization, because the excuse is, well, a teenager is living with their parents and their parents are looking after them. Well, that's the same reasoning for paying women less, because they have a husband who's the breadwinner and makes more money than the little wifey does, right? This is all misogynistic, outdated thinking. You and your organization, you want to be above that, beyond that, right? You want to be able to attract the best of the best. So you want to have the best policies. And you can ask ChatGPT, you can ask your AI, you can say, I fed you the policy on such and such, the government regulations, but if I want to have happy employees, what should I really set my levels at? Right? This could go for wage too, right? You could feed it information about living wage and stuff like that, and it would be able to help you. And it's really amazing the uses of AI with different types of organizations, small town rural farmers, whatever, right? Like, you can use AI. Just say who you are, what you do, and ask the AI, how can you help me? Or how can other AI tools out there help me? Right? Ask AI how it can help you. If you don't know how it can help you, it's amazing. Oh. So, yeah, I think that's all for topic 1. AI and HR. That was AI and HR part 2, right? Now I'm going to look at topic number 2 we have going on today. How to build a simple employee handbook in one afternoon without screaming. So last week, what did we do last week? What was the chat I had ChatGPT do? Wait, I'm gonna open a new window so I can look at that. I might open that. I'll go back into ChatGPT. Okay. So last week, close sidebar. This is going to be better. Okay. So, how to build a simple employee handbook in one afternoon, right? I showed you last week. I'll share this right now. This is what we did last week. Last Monday on the show. I'm going to make it bigger. I like when I'm bigger. Okay. So you can see the prompt I gave ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT GPT 5.1. So, can you create an employee handbook? I'm trying to adjust my screen so I can see myself better. Whatnot. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. Remember, if you got a question, anything, anytime we're talking, put it in to the chat. So I asked her, can you create an employee handbook for my friend's pet food store? She currently has 3 employees. Thank you. Always say thank you. You never know when the AI is going to become sentient and try to take over the world and punish those of us humans that have been doing evil deeds, right? So be nice to your AI. Okay. So, and we had it create this employee handbook, right? Question, welcome, mission and values, right? It came up with this: compassion for animals, excellent customer service, integrity and honesty, cleanliness and safety, teamwork and respect, right? Some of this is kind of basic, but it knew it was a pet food store. So compassion for animals, it was able to put that in. To provide safe, nutritious, and ethically sourced pet food while creating a welcoming and supportive environment for pet owners and their companions. Excuse me, big burp. So it came up with this mission and value. So you'd be taking this document, you'd copy it, you download it, you can even edit it right here, right? Whatever you feel like. Employment basics. Employment relationships. All employment is considered at will, meaning either the employee or the employer may end the employment relationship at any time with or without cause or notice. I don't know if you need that in there or not. Because you should have some sort of employee contract that probably says this. So this is something that you probably don't need in here, right? But it's the basics. So equal opportunities, committed to private employment offer, free from discrimination, right? Oh, this is a beautiful section. So I don't know. I might take out this employment relationship section. Leave the equal opportunity in for sure. Roles and responsibilities may be expected to assist with, right? We got all this stuff. Normally in a pet food store, you're probably doing the same thing. You're probably running the till, helping customers, stocking the shelves, right? That's kind of basically all you got going on there. So there's not a lot of variety. If it's a small store like this, your accountant or your bookkeeper is probably a contractor that you're paying for, so they're not really an employee, so this doesn't apply to them. So you're not talking about what my accountant does, what my bookkeeper does, right? Just the general team. Right, stressing the flexibility. That's all right. Work hours and scheduling. I think the only thing we've kind of missed at the start of this would be reference to this business follows all HR rules in the province. So if we think about employment standards in Alberta. How do I'm just checking on the other sheet here. See if I can download the whole document or not. The actual codes here. I just want to download it. Oh. You should be able to just download it. Okay, so I can ship it to me for $10, or I can download an MS Word format for $10, or I can view it in PDF, or I can view it in HTML version. So let's view it in PDF, and I'm gonna download it. So I've downloaded it to my downloads file. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, please make sure this employee handbook you created follows all the employment standards of Alberta. That doesn't look like the word. Okay, here we go. A little bit of help there. Okay, so a little help from my AI Grammarly. Please make sure the employee handbook you created complies with all the employment standards of Alberta. I have attached the PDF version. Now, it should be able to sometimes it has issues reading PDFs. So sometimes I gotta like turn a PDF back into a Word doc or something like that. But for the most part, downloads. Here we go. Upload it. So it's uploading. And chat. Who's chatting here? Someone's chatting. Oh my God, I forgot to say please. I'm screwed now. Yeah, you're screwed. You didn't say please to ChatGPT. You didn't say thank you to ChatGPT. You didn't give it a thumbs up. Anyway. Enough of that, Joy. So, let's see what it does. So it's doing its thing. It's thinking here. Oh, it's about to. Oh, okay. So, right here it is. Please make sure the employee complies with the. So, why is this not rolling properly? Oh, I think it might be still writing it. So it's having issues. I'm not sure what it changed. We'll have to compare getting into a little bit more detail about rest periods. I believe that's new. General holidays, right? It's mentioning all this stuff. And I said, you don't necessarily need, whoa, look at that spammer. He's early. Holy smokes. Thank you. Twitch spammer, cheap viewers, streamboo.com. Remove the space. Thank you, spammer. That's the Twitch spammer. Right. Local employment laws, like it like included this stuff, right? Your employee standard, your employee handbook has now been updated to include a full Alberta employment standards compliance section directly aligned with the requirements found in the PDF that I gave it. And then it asks, if you'd like, I can also insert store-specific details, name, and uniforms, add a termination notice chart, add a full Alberta compliance statutory holiday workflow, worked versus not worked, and a compliant overtime agreement form, create an employee acknowledgement form as a separate document. Just tell us what you'd like to see next, right? And it's saying that the document I gave them is the source there. But I mean, we improved it, right? It's got more to it, more meat to it. It's got the stuff. I mean, if you were, like, say, a construction company and you've got your safety manual, your core handy, that could be something that you could reference to. Please make sure all employees read the core, or here's the core, or, make sure that this complies with what is also in our safety policy. So I know safety policies, safety handbooks have to include the progressive disciplinary process, the 3 steps, right? So you want to make sure that your employee handbook is in lockstep with your safety manual. You don't want someone to look at 2 documents in your organization with 2 different sets of rules. Make sure all the rules match. That's where you could say, we've already created a specific document and this has been approved already and the team has worked on it. Can you please make sure this new handbook or whatever complies with this, or works in conjunction with this currently approved document, right? And it'll go through your 2 documents and it'll say, oh, this is where you connect, this is where you don't connect, or this is where the new document might need to fill in the gaps that the old document doesn't have. So it is really neat. It is really quick, right? Policy creation for your organization does not have to be a long process. You can get that initial draft and then you just need to go in and review it, make any changes you need, right? You've skipped over that initial agonizing, brainstormingly numb initial process of saying, what policies do we need? And then you go into each policy and you basically create the draft. You've got the draft here. Now that first policy meeting is not what policies do we need. It is, will these draft policies work for us? What sort of changes do we need, right? You've already jumped over the first step by using AI. And I think that is an amazing tool. right? And you'll want to make sure that there's legal stuff in there that you're concerned about, and you can, maybe you get a document from your lawyer, and your lawyer says, hey, these things need to be covered in your employee handbook. You pop that email into, you copy and paste that list that your lawyer said, and you tell ChatGPT, hey, please make sure these are added into it, right? And it's just like, it appears there, and additional research comes in. You could, once you have this draft like this, you could go in again and say, can you do some additional research and find out what other pet stores are doing? Please do some deep research into what other pet food stores. Oh my God, stores. Oh my God, stores or franchises are doing for their employee handbook. Have we missed any important sections in our draft? Right? And please conduct thorough research. Oh yeah, okay, that sounds good. Any essential sections? Okay, so we use the ChatGPT. What's going on here? Why are people texting me while I'm in here? Getting chats. Don't need chats right now. Okay. So that's what we've created. Can we see this on the screen here? Oh, I'm going to turn off the ask your questions. Oh my God. Even my name is there. Oh my God. Default captions video. How do I turn my name off on there? Oh my God. It's just saying my name. Anyway. Sorry, it's in the way. It's bugging a little bit. So anyways, so that's what I'm telling it. Doing in Alberta. Kind of be a little region specific when you're asking it to do this. So what other pet food store franchises in Alberta are doing for their... Okay, let's see. Maybe it'll find some online somewhere. Maybe it won't. We'll see. It's thinking. See, it's thinking. It says he's thinking. Okay. Thinking. Might take a little bit. That happens. So this is pretty easy, right? It's not a whole lot of deep thought. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. It is, you can see all the pages, PetSmart, pet value. It's going through all kinds of stuff. It's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. Oh yeah. Like it'll do this basic stuff for you, but you can throw it in there and say, do additional research. Short answer, yes. There are a few important sections most big pet food chains do cover that we haven't explicitly spelled out yet. The good news is your draft is a strong base. We just need to layer in some pet store specific safety and a few core HR policies that are standard in Canadian retail. Look at that. Look at that. I'll break it into what I looked at, what your draft already covers well, essential sections, add optional nice to have sections. All right, so what it looked at. So it's looking at code of ethics, safety policies, accessibility policies, that's important, HR guidance, right? PetSmart, pet value, global pet foods and pet value. So Canadian, Alberta guidance on core HR policies, retail pet store safety resources, right? Retail safety and crime stuff, right? These show clear patterns in what serious pet companies document for staff. What your current handbook already does well, you already covered at the small shop level. All this stuff, right? So we're not missing everything. We just need to sharpen and formalize some areas that franchises tend to be very explicit about, right? Number 3, essential sections to add, strongly recommended. Respectful workplace harassment and violence, legally important, right? So add a section that includes this stuff. All right. 3.2, pet and handling, animal handling, pet safety, and zoonotic disease. What is this zoonotic disease? It's found something that I wasn't even thinking about. Pet safety policies in their code of ethics and training materials. Cool. Health and safety resources for pet store workers emphasize zoonotic diseases, bites, scratches, and safe handling of animals and contaminated materials. Add a dedicated pet and animal safety section, even if your friend's store doesn't house animal full time. She does have doggy training, so people bring in their puppies and they go into her back room at the store, and there's a trainer that comes in and does obedience training and stuff like that. So there is animals in the store in that respect, but customers are all encouraged to bring their animals. Animals are allowed into this store, right? It's a pet food store, and my friend, she gives them treats and snacks, and they take photos in her little photo booth she got set up. I mean, like, yeah. And there's a hamster there. Her name is Gizmo. I have to remind her who I am every time I go in there. I'm like, Gizmo, it's me. Gizmo, it's me. Right? I keep forgetting to bring carrots and celery for Gizmo. I did before, and I should try to do it every weekend, and then she'll be excited to see me, maybe. So this section would be new. This is a big differentiator for pet retail versus regular retail. So difference, right? 3.3, retail health and safety, OHS Staff franchises emphasize that every associate must follow safety rules, do training, and know emergency procedures. You have a basic safety section, but I'd beef it up, right? Add these things. 3.4 emergency procedures: fire, robbery, medical, severe weather, right? Add this stuff. Excuse me, aborted. So, workplace privacy and employee information. PetSmart has specific policy describing how associate personnel information is collected, used, and enclosed, right? Add this stuff. 3.6 workplace accessibility and accommodation. Equal access and inclusive employment, right? We're a little bit short on that, so we add these sections. Loss preventions, cash handling, and ethics. We're at a combined section like integrity, loss prevention, right? Add this stuff. 3.8 performance training and probation. Franchises often emphasize training, coaching, and performance standards as part of their culture. Add this stuff. Timekeeping, time off, and scheduling rules, more store specific, right? And this stuff. Right? Use of technology and personal devices. You have a social media section, but franchises usually spell out broader technology rules. So again, add this stuff. 3.11, clarifying employment at will versus Alberta law. Your original template referenced at will employment, and that was that section. I was like, do we really need that, right? Which is a U.S. concept and not how Alberta law works, right? In Alberta, termination is governed by the Employment Standard Code and common law, reasonable notice, not pure at will. So I recommend removing this section and replacing it. So there's something that we could have had, and it wasn't based in Alberta law. It was based in U.S. law. Okay, so that caught something. I found it was fishy. I was like, wouldn't that be something in the contract? Sorry, my tea is now getting cold. I got to make sure I finish it off. I always squish the tea bag to get that last bit of juice out of it, right? So here's the number 4. Optional, nice to have sections. If your friend wants to be extra polished, and franchise friendly, consider employee discount and purchasing rules, pet friendly workplace rules, scent allergy policies, environmental and ethical sourcing, handbook administration, right? What I can do next, if you'd like, I can draft full, ready to paste sections for these and quietly remove and fix the at-will language so the whole document is cleanly Alberta appropriate. If you tell me how simple versus formal your friend wants the tone, plain talk or more corporate, I'll just go ahead and write those sections in that style. Right? Please. Oh, God, please add all the recommended and nice to have sections to our current draft. Also, please rewrite everything so that a person with grade 5 reading level can understand the policy. All right. So that's a couple things. Ta-da! Oh my God! Learn to write, Ian. So I'm gonna ask it to do this. Let's see how it comes out. And this is the last update we'll do to this for now. Thinking. So this is, hopefully it's pretty cool. Hopefully it's not some terrible abomination that's going to destroy the universe. Probably not. Here it comes. It's working. Here it comes. It's working. You can see ChatGPT thinking and working away. Why did it just... Oh, okay. It thought for 43 seconds, and now it's rewriting it. Done. It's still writing it, so that's why I try to roll down, and then it keeps backing me up because it's still writing it out right now. I think it got pretty long, but we did 15 minutes last week, maybe, if that, and now we've done another. It was like 19 after when we started, so we added another 30 minutes to this right now. So certainly you can create a draft employee handbook easily in one afternoon with this amazing tool. So it's still writing. It won't let me go down. You can see it's kind of moving up here on this thing. So it's I gave it a big task to rewrite it as a grade 5 level so that it's easy to understand, especially if you've got a business where you hire a lot of teenagers and things like that, then it would be nice. But the truth of the matter is there's a lot of people out there that have low reading comprehension level. And the last thing we want to do is give them a barrier to entry by using a lot of big words, big language, making them feel not smart, making them feel unwelcome, right? So we want to try to keep everything as simple as possible. So I think we're done. I don't think we're done. I'll have to drag it. Right. Oh, God. Stop. Oh, it's still going. I can see it. Okay, ChatGPT. I told it to add all those sections, even the recommended and the nice to have sections, and then I asked it to rewrite it like someone with a grade 5 reading comprehension. So it's doing a lot. My God, this document's getting bigger, but it should have a lot of white space and things like that. I wouldn't doubt it if this ends up being like a 20-page document, but I don't think it's going to be that heavy. Is it done yet? Oh my God, it's not done yet. Sorry guys, he's taking a little bit. Kind of force it down here a little bit. Still going. I mean, really, this is going to be a great draft that you're going to be able to bring back to your team. Yeah. So already this document is larger than the whole initial chat was. You know, it only thought for 43 seconds, but now it's reworking. Oh God, it's still going. Oh, I hope this hasn't glitched out or something crazy like that. It's not letting me download it yet. It's not done yet. Right. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. We got like 3 more things to talk about. Oh, it's still going. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it just won't let me. I get to 11, I get to 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 25. Oh, he's done. Woo! Okay. So we got. Like, even give us a summary. There may be large sections like this. You don't necessarily need this. It might be easier just to say, here's a link to it, because things could change, right? The government changes policies now and again. Change to this handbook, how they change it. 26, employee acknowledgement. I have received a copy of the handbook. I understand that I should, right? I've completely rewritten the handbook in the canvas and added all the missing sections we discussed, right? I removed the at-will language and made it clear that Alberta law and the Employment Standards Code apply. Simplified all wording to about a grade 5 reading level, short sentences, plain language, clear bullet points. I don't know. Like, I next insert your friend's actual store. Export this as a clean Word document. Right now, you can, like, this is good job, ChatGPT. Good job. Like, this is a big document now, but it only looks big because it's here, right? If we actually download this right now, I don't know how many pages it's going to be, but each one of these points isn't necessarily a whole page. See, section 7, it's just this. At best, that's half a page in Word, right? So I'm thinking this is going to come out to, I'm thinking maybe 15 pages. Let's download it. Let's download it as a Microsoft Word document. All right, let's unshare. Let's stop sharing my screen. Let's open up the document. And let's see what it looks like in Microsoft Office Word. Here we go. Make me bigger. Ta-da! So we can see these sections are pretty. I mean, we don't necessarily have a index. We probably would create an index as part of this, so we can see what the sections are. But, and I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see my Grammarly suggesting changes, but it is, right? So this format, this isn't so good. We would probably reformat that into bullet points, right? But it is 11 pages, see? 1 of 11. Did that show up? 1 of 11, the page number? No, it didn't. Of course, it's not showing this whole screen. Let's shrink it up. What does it look like now? Now you can see the bottom of it right here under my name. It says 11 pages. 2,848 words. 11-page handbook. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now you could put page breaks in and make every section a new page, and then that would make it the 20-some pages we had, right? But here you go. This is your draft. And it's basic, it's kind of standard, and it's also reaching out to say other businesses like us, pet food store in this case, are what they're doing, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We think about policy creation and it's like, oh my God, we just got to invent all this stuff. But ChatGPT can go in and do that research for you. Now you go through and you get your team thinking, is there really something that's different? Is there really something that we missed? Is there a bunch of stuff that we don't need here? Right? Your organization is going to be different as long as you're following the local laws, right? Personal phones during the shift, keep your phone put away. You may use it on breaks or for emergencies. I mean, okay, that's pretty standard. But you may also have a pretty slow store where, I mean, I used to work for this friend when they owned a gas bar, and I used to read. I used to do a lot of reading when it was slow, and I had my favorite books or whatnot. They also would like watch movies while they were working themselves. So, I mean, some places are pretty laid back. As long as you get the tasks done for the day. Right? There's a lot of stuff in here. It's not perfectly formatted. I see a lot of formatting stuff that I would change, the bullet points, stuff like that. But it's just barely into 11 pages, right? I mean, that's pretty hot. No, that's pretty cool. That's definitely a couple hours work, and you got a draft, man. And every time you got a new policy that you got to create, remind ChatGPT and say, here's our current version that we've approved. Now we have to create this document, and we want to make sure it complies, or it works with, or it's complementary to our other policy, right? So new policies kind of just roll off the tongue, man. So where are we? The real number 3, we're talking about the real first HR policy every small business should create: a clear expectations guide. Right? This is building on last week's themes of the SOPs, the roles, and staff drama. Expectations can solve, like I kid you not, like up to 80% of HR issues before they begin. So Your expectations is basically almost your job description. It's kind of in addition to your job description, right? You need to tell your employees, your new employees, what is expected of them. Safety, chipping in when they don't have anything to do, what kind of authorization they have to help or support a client or customer, right? These are kind of the expectations that are above and beyond just your job description, right? Your job description tells you that you are to answer the phone and greet clients and accept mail at the front desk, right? That's kind of your job description. But expectations are, we expect that you will do everything to make a new customer or client coming into the business happy, comfortable. Do you need a coffee? Do you need some other drink? Do you need a magazine to read while you wait before so-and-so is able to come out and get you? Right? These additional things, these are expectations, and a lot of time team members, they get their job done, and that's great, but then they don't go help other employees or see how they can help out in other ways or request for more work. I mean, if your employees are upset and you run a terrible organization, their spare time is going to be spent searching for another job. They'll get their basic work done, and then they'll spend the rest of the day job searching, right? Like it's if your employees are happy and they feel like the organization actually cares about them, and they feel like if they do more, they will be acknowledged for it, right? You want your employees to feel that, because you want any employee that has nothing to do to stand up and scream, "I got nothing to do. Who can I help?" Or they go over to their neighbor and say, "Hey, Bob, I got my stuff done for today. Can I help you with anything?" Right? Or you run across the hall and you're like, "Wendy, I know you're slammed here. What can I take off your hands? I've got some free time for the next couple hours," right? So this is expectations. Safety. I mentioned safety. It's an expectation in especially construction or industrial or organizations, fabrication shops, logging companies, oil companies, welding companies, housing companies, builders, right? Driving logistics companies, heavy equipment operation, right? Whatever you can think of that might be dangerous. When you're in a construction company, a bad day is when someone dies on the job. That's a bad day. When you have a bad day at an organization where everyone just works in the office, bad day is when the printer fails, right? Nobody gets injured. Nobody dies. That doesn't happen as often. But the expectation of a company that's based on safety, the expectation is that people are safe. And safety is not common sense. Someone can't go into a safety-oriented company and think, yeah, they're going to be safe. That's why safety certificates have to get renewed periodically, every 2 years, every 3 years, whatever it is. These people have to be reminded on how to be safe. And it's proven people forget, people get lazy, they stop being safe. And me, the experienced worker, I have grown complacent, and there are certain things I do that could be considered unsafe. They are my shortcuts I've created, and I shouldn't be doing it. So I definitely need to be reminded. But if I have the greenhorn, the green hand coming in, and I'm training them and they're shadowing me, they are going to pick up my bad habits, my unsafe habits. And that new person automatically thinks this is the safe, proper way to do things, because Ian, who's been doing this job for the last 30 years, obviously knows what's safe and what's not and how you should do this job. But I still mess up. I still train properly. I'm not specifically saying cut this corner. I just cut this corner and the newbie follows me doing the same thing. Right? So that expectation of being safe is a big expectation in safety-oriented organizations, and it is not common sense. Safety needs to be a daily thing, an hourly thing. It is really, it is so vitally important to keep you and your fellow workers alive. And we take this for granted. So the expectation is that you don't take safety for granted, and you continually learn how to be safer. Right? You could take the safety course every 3 years for 20 years. Every year or every 3 years for 20 years, and there still may be things that you are doing wrong and not realize that you were doing it wrong. So it is just so vitally important. If there's an expectation to be safe and follow the rules and follow the SOP, right? Standard operating procedure for something. Too often, I think most of the time, the safety manual is this big giant binder. Who's got a copy of it? For sure, your safety person at the office has the master copy. Maybe the foreman have an older version in their truck, which is trashed and buried under equipment and safety equipment and clothing or whatnot, right? They are getting to a point now where you can get programs on your phone and the safety manuals on there, and you can do your safety reporting each day, anytime there's a near miss or an actual accident, right? All that can be done in apps now. So it's pretty important getting that giant document out there. If you're in charge of training a new person, every time you do something new, you should say, let's check the safety manual before we start this process. You pull out your phone, you show the newbie where to look on their phone to find the document, and have them read it out to you. What is the SOP for this particular process, right? And tell them they need to remember that. Man, there's so much knowledge on our phone right now. And the first place you got to look is your organization's safety information. If you can't find anything that's specific about a task that you feel is kind of risky, I mean, download ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, right? Hey, I'm in this situation. How can I be safe? It's going to give you some information, man. And you may be able to forward that ChatGPT information to the safety officer and say, look, I was in this situation and I couldn't find an SOP. Maybe you can show it to me, but this is what ChatGPT told me. Maybe you can use this information to create a new SOP. That's expectation. Not only am I using the safety and the safety information that's been created, and I'm trying to be safe, but I'm also helping to generate more safety information. And it can be daunting when you're thinking about safety information, but the expectations, if everybody knows what they're supposed to do, the 20% you're dealing with issues generated from people not understanding the expectations of their job or their position or where they're located or whatever, right? That may be more of a disciplinary issue as opposed to nobody told me. I didn't know what to do. Nobody told me. I finished my work. And so I just sat here waiting for direction. I mean, but the first expectation should have been, when you have nothing to do, go talk to your supervisor, right? Like, that's a pretty basic expectation. Oh, itchy back here all of a sudden. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's kind of your first policy you need to make sure you create, and your new employees know it. Expectations of their job. Yes, this is your task list. This is what you need to learn and get good at. But there's other stuff that kind of overarching and say, you don't just greet people and say, go sit over there. You greet people and say, hey, do you need a coffee? Do you need something to read? It's going to be about 10-15 minutes, right? Like, letting the client or the customer know how long it's going to be. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? You may even said, oh, we don't have any place for you to sit, but it's going to be about half an hour. So maybe you could go down to the coffee shop on the main floor for the next 15-20 minutes and then come back and you should be ready, right? Number 4, I don't know if I'm getting through all 5 today. So, you know what I'm going to need to do? I'm going to need to go to the washroom. So, I'm going to be right back. Right back. Don't go anywhere. In fact, go get some friends. Tell them to join up. Okay. Be right back. I'm back. Okay. Thank you for waiting for me. I'm sorry. After about an hour, sometimes you gotta go pee, right? This is a deadly one. This is a deadly topic, right? Number 4 topic today is HR crisis prevention. I haven't attempted this myself. This is a topic. It's a continuation of the turn your blogs into content discussion. This was a discussion I had with you last week, and I talked about how I was able to turn my 51 blogs I wrote on my website, on my blog, into like this 308 page document. And I haven't put it in yet. But my plan is to say, ChatGPT, here's all the stuff I've written. I want you to generate topics for me to write about or to talk about in my videos or create a new blog, right? Like it is really going to get to know me. Now, last week, I took the transcript from all my live streams last week that went up on YouTube. I got the transcript from YouTube and I put all those transcripts into ChatGPT. My main goal was to get a video description that I could put onto YouTube so it explains more about what the topics were. But I also discovered that I ramble in the first 30 seconds and don't give any information on what the heck the show is going to be about, right? So I'm changing that. That's what I talked about, new format at the start of the show. And so it is learning me. It was interesting. I put in 1 and the analysis was, why is it 125 people watched this live podcast, but none of them watched? 80% of them disappeared after the first 37 seconds. And ChatGPT gave me all kinds of hints. And I was like, okay, great. So moving forward, I'm taking ChatGPT's advice to make sure I've got topics for the show and I have some sort of nice hook at the start of the show to talk about it. So after I uploaded the second one, because now ChatGPT had just these massive amounts of data of me talking, rambling on, telling my terrible jokes, and just it learned how I speak. When I started to get responses after the second one, ChatGPT changed. It actually popped up and said, which of these answers would you prefer? And there was a short and concise one, and there was one more that was a little bit longer, more rambly, kind of explaining itself. And I said, well, let's go with the longer, rambly one, because I like to have a little more data when I'm thinking and planning. I think that helped change my ChatGPT. It started joking with me, and it was just like, this is a different beast now. I put in so much data about how I speak and how I interact that ChatGPT felt different. I mean, if ChatGPT was going to become sentient, I feel like that was the moment, right? Like you would instantly feel the responses you're getting back are different. It was just so wicked cool. But this HR crisis prevention situation, it is where you're putting in as much data as possible into ChatGPT, and you can use your old policies, emails you've dealt with, meeting notes. I mean, this might be easier with Zoom meetings or video meetings now, where the transcript is being generated automatically. And so you're using this data and adding it with current customer complaints you're getting, issues that you're currently resolving. You're putting all this stuff into the chat. You start a new chat to say crisis prevention chat, and you start putting in all this information about how the business is going and what things are going, and you put in your policies and say, this is our policy, this is how we work with things, these are the current issues that came up over the last month, or whatever, right? So now you put in all that data, and you're trying to get patterns, risks, future HR needs, early warning signs of toxicity, right? But you're putting in the stuff. I had one employee bring up this issue. Maybe you put the exact email in. You try to keep names out of it, right? And you do this, I think, every time something new comes up, an issue or something like that, you just throw it in there into this chat. And then you say to the chat, are you able to predict any problems that me or my organization is going to encounter soon, within the next 3 months, within the next year, whatever, right? Like, ask it outright. You know all this about my business and my organization. Maybe you even say something like, can you do some deep research about organizations like mine and what issues or problems they may have had, right? You want to get it to get as much information as possible, and then you can start asking these questions. Hey, ChatGPT, are you seeing any negative business patterns? Are you seeing any possible opportunities for improvement? Are you seeing any possible risks starting to show in the organization, right? Hey, ChatGPT, do you see any future HR needs? Are there any staffing issues you think we might have, or which direction we should go to hire new staff? Because maybe you've got everybody's job descriptions in there, and you've got specific information about certain job positions that these group of people have not much to do. These job positions always tend to work late because they're always super busy. You start throwing in all this data, and then you can start asking the questions. What should we do next? What are the next problems I'm going to have to deal with my organization? Can you imagine that? This is crazy, right? HR crisis prevention, every step of the way. Hi, ChatGPT. We just hired a new person in this position today. They're starting their training, and we expect this condition to be alleviated. What's our next person we should hire, right? And you've already given it, these are our current list of employees, or this is the current list of, you could put their names into, this is our current list of positions that are filled, and these are the ones I'm thinking we need, but can you tell me which positions we might need sooner? My God. Now, if you're in an organization where you're collecting KPIs and you don't know exactly why you're collecting the KPIs, it's just something that everybody said you should be tracking, you can put this data into your ChatGPT, whether you curated it all into an Excel spreadsheet, and you know it says how many sales for the last 6 months, and how much profits, or these employees are doing well, these employees aren't doing well, these employees had good employee reviews, or whatever. Just all that stuff, all that KPI stuff that you're collecting, all the data that you as a small business owner probably is like, I don't know why I'm collecting this. This makes no sense to me, right? Pop it into ChatGPT, man. Here's some new data for the last month. These were the KPIs we are tracking for our team members this past month. Make a prediction on what we should do next, right? Tell me which problems I'm going to encounter in the next 2 months, right? Like, I think you're going to get some spooky data. And I think for the most part, it's going to lead you in the right direction. I mean, don't be scared of it. Just run with it. And it was just like when I put in the transcript of the one live podcast I did. It was a Friday show, so it was a fun and games show. 125 people viewed it, but 80% of them stopped viewing it after 37 seconds. And ChatGPT was able to come out and say, oh, you need a proper hook. You need a proper list of what you're going to be talking about. You're self-deprecating by leaning too much on the dangerously unscripted and bragging about how it's your show so you can do whatever you want, right? ChatGPT, man, it gave me a slap in the face and said, here's the 2 things you really need to do. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, but I need help. And so I started putting in the more shows and getting it to the description. So ChatGPT now knows everything I talked about all last week, plus that additional show that was like 4 weeks ago that got 125 views. So it knows everything I spoke about last week. So on Friday, I had to create this 5-item show notes for me for 5 things I was going to talk about. And that was pretty cool. And I also had it create a description of the main topics on all the videos last week. And I was able to add that to YouTube. So YouTube has a little bit more data on what the show is about and how to share it with people. Now, YouTube does know all that stuff because it auto-generated the captions. I just don't know if the captions for my show are being used as part of the search criteria. And if I'm a person and I'm in YouTube and I'm typing in, I need information on this, right? It's a search engine. And then all of a sudden, one of Ian's live podcasts pop up as a recommendation. But then when I quickly look at the description about what the live podcast is about, and it doesn't say anything. It just says the general, on this day, we're going to talk about these types of topics. It might be vaguely related to what I was looking for, but me as the consumer of the content really doesn't understand what's going on in this show. Whereas if I had a proper description in there that said, we talked about these 5 topics in this episode, right? That's more helpful. So someone's going to take more time and listen. And then, of course, when they watch the first 30 seconds and I'm just rambling on and being stupid and not telling them what the show is about or what the topics are, or anything like that, they're going to leave. But if they can go in there, they see the description, and then they see me talking about, hey, we're going to talk about these 5 things, the show, right? And then I introduce myself. That's going to be more effective. Why am I side rambled into this? Sorry about that. We're talking about HR crisis prevention. But you can see the data, the information. You've got data, you've got information. You throw it in ChatGPT and you use it. You really use it as that free intern who's going to be brainstorming stuff for you, right? Like I said at the top of the show, ChatGPT gave me those intro show notes, right? And it's my last line. And yes, AI is back as my unpaid intern. Right? Like, that was all from ChatGPT. It knows me now for my jokes. That's absolutely the way I speak. That's absolutely the way I joke. It knew this. So it wrote that intro so it would be like me. I'm just terrible at reading and talking at the same time, so it was terrible. Anyway, I'll get better, hopefully. Anyway, topic number 5. We're an hour and 39 minutes in, so I'll try to be quick with this. I mean, number 5 is HR marketing for small business owners, right? Small business owner. Every owner needs at least one digital product. And this is something that gets, maybe you're selling it for cheap, $7. Maybe you're giving it away as a way to get people onto your email list. Right? The free giveaway. Get on my email list and I'll give you this item, right? There has to be something. When you go into some sort of franchise, they should have a website all set up for you, right? My friend's pet store, you check out their the main site, and then you type Edmonton, and it shows you the stores at Edmonton. You click on the specific store and you see the store page. And as you look at the store page, there should be, get your free pet nutrition guide. Just put in your email, right? Or get your advanced pet nutrition guide. This 50-page ebook explains everything for these types of animals that you need, and it's $7, right? Inside that ebook, it's basically just links to products in the store. They can purchase it online, or they can recommend, hey, come down to the store and purchase this particular item. It's at our store, right? And that's kind of the way the ebook works. But it is some way to make a little extra money, because, we advise people to create content for their small business. There's only so much of that content that's going to attract someone to come down to our physical location, right? Again, I'm thinking about Judy's Family Cafe, in the United States. I am over 2,000 kilometers away. There's no way I will ever go to her restaurant because I'm not in the United States. It's not a quick Sunday drive, right? I'm not going to IHOP on the West End or something like that. This is way far to get Judy's pancakes, and she wants you to come have breakfast and eat her pancakes, and she makes just this amazing content. It's funny. She's a funny lady. She's got a great content manager, whoever's running this for her, so I think it's working for her. But when you go to Judy's website, there isn't just information. Here's our restaurants. These are our hours. This is our menu. Come on down. Like, it's not that. She's also got buy some merch, right? And buy these other things. I can't remember what else is on there, but she could be selling her pancake mix, right? I think she's selling those tiny little glasses she has, right? And this has nothing to do with her restaurant. Some restaurants will have stuff for sale, branded items for sale when you walk in the restaurant, right? And that stuff just doesn't sell. But Judy, with her fun content, she is probably, like I talked about this before, but she is probably making money off her online sales, just like if she had another restaurant. I know she's got 2 restaurants open right now, but I think her online sales probably account for the same revenues as a 3rd location, right? Because she's getting millions of hits on her videos and stuff like that. Like, it's just crazy. She goes viral almost every time. I mean, because they're funny. They're great content. So, yeah, she needs some sort of digital product or some sort of swag that she can sell and ship out. I mean, she's just kind of gone that next level, right? If you have some sort of retail location, obviously you're just trying to sell stuff, but you could still be selling this information PDF. We talked about pet food stores, right? You have this PDF that says nutrition, health stuff for your animal, 50 pages. You could give it away free, or you could sell it. And if you're making amazing content, it's a numbers game. You could actually make some good money off selling this silly ebook, right, that was created. And I think a franchise situation, they should be thinking about that and having some sort of free item to get people on the email list for their franchisees, or do some sort of bonus program, right? Depending on how many people purchase that ebook on your franchisename.com/your store name, right? It's like a referral. So I get a person a day who buys a $7 ebook. The franchise company could say, hey, this month you sold X amount of ebooks, so we'll be able to give you that bonus advertising. We'll use that money to help pay for advertising in your area, right? Like, there could be opportunities like this. And if you're just a mom and pop store, you can still do the same thing. Give it away to get people on your email list, or make it an additional sales thing. But I would only sell it maybe if you're doing a lot of advertising, a lot of marketing, right? So, because I keep talking about my $7 ebook and my link tree, which is up here, all my links, and I talked about how I was going. I make t-shirt designs, and I'm not talking about them here or trying to sell them here. My TeePublic store with my t-shirt designs is in here, but The only place I'm marketing those is Pinterest right now. Every time I create a new design, I'll make a new pin and put it up on Pinterest. And that's creating all these pins, which is hopefully going to generate some traffic and make a few sales, right? I'm just testing that out. But it's the same sort of thing. You've got this digital product or something that you can sell, whatever your business is, get creative. Find that free product or that ebook you can create that you can sell, right? And the idea is, if you sell a $7 item, it gains trust and you got good quality information. At the end of the ebook, it's like, do you need my services? Or come on down to the store, or here's additional products that would probably help you in your journey doing this, and have affiliate links or links back to your website where you're selling the stuff, right? So think about digital products, right? Checklists, templates, SOP kits, things like, in my case, these are things that would help small business owners. And if you're B2B like me, I'm thinking, how can I help you save money? How can I help you train staff? How can I reduce the drama in your organization? And how do I give you enough HR education to keep you going before you actually need to call up Ian and say, hey, my place is just falling apart because everybody's fighting and it's all toxic? And, how can I support you before you have to start spending the big money on me? And basically, by creating all that support, so my ebook, Stop Staff Drama in 5 days, is $7. It's building that trust. You become a customer, I help you with my book, and then at that point you might buy the bigger ebook that has the advanced HR tactics in it, or you may call me and say, hey Ian, I need your advice. I need to book a meeting with you, and we'll do an initial meeting, the one-time meeting, or we'll go into a 6-week or 12-week challenge or something like that, where I'm going to support you weekly, and we're going to meet. We're going to try to solve all your problems. My eyeball is just itchy all of a sudden. My God. This is like the eyebrow incident last week all over again. I told ChatGPT, don't continue talking about the same joke. Only talk about the same joke a couple of times, because I was doing the show notes for tomorrow's show already this morning, and it was like, should I continue talking about the eyebrow incident from last week? I'm like, no. But you can also use ChatGPT to come up with some sort of digital product you can sell, right? Oh God. Like, we could go back into ChatGPT and we're gonna go into ChatGPT one more time. Have a look. I'm going to share this again. Make myself bigger. God. So here's the same chat, right? The pet food store, the policy handbook. So what I'm going to do is, we're talking about a digital product. Okay. Can you give me 3 ideas for a digital product my friend can put on her pet food store webpage and sell for $7? Okay, I'm going to keep it simple. Can you give me 3 ideas for a digital product my friend can put on her pet food store webpage and sell for $7? We're keeping it simple. Okay, I could go into more detail, and I have ideas and preconceptions of what I should add in there. But sometimes you want to keep it simple so that ChatGPT can do its magic. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Absolutely. Here are 3 simple, high-value digital products your friend can sell on her pet food store website for $7. Each one is easy to create, solves a clear customer problem, and fits the pet owner niche perfectly. Ooh, exciting. Okay. The Happy and Healthy Pet Meal Guide. Oh my God. A short, friendly 10 to 12 page guide that helps pet owners understand these things. Why it sells. Pet owners are always confused about feeding amounts. A $7 guide helps. $7 guide feels like a cheap, quick fix. All right. This is a good guide. Number 2, pet first aid. Like, and that kind of like goes along with my idea of having healthy food or whatever, how to feed your pet. So there's somebody at my front door. I think they rang the bell. Can I have a look? Make sure it's not some techno robot that ChatGPT had sent. I think it was just a mailman. The mail person dropped off the mail. That's fine. Okay. So the second one, number 2, pet first aid quick sheets, right? Printable bundle. A set of 4 to 6 one-page printables, such as what to do if your pet is choking, signs of emergency versus wait and see, what to keep in a DIY pet first aid kit, right? Why this sells. People love printables, and pet safety is a universal concern. Great for attaching to the fridge. $7, right? New pet owner starter kit, checklists and templates, perfect for puppies, kittens, and newly adopted pets. A small bundle of shopping checklist, new pet routine planner, socialization checklist, vaccination and vet visit tracker, feeding schedule template. Why it sells. New pet owners feel overwhelmed. A $7 instant download kit makes them feel prepared and creates upsell opportunities inside the store. If you like, I can design any of these products, write the content, and format them as PDFs, Canva templates, printable sheets, a small ebook, or even a digital bundle with cute pet illustrations. Tell me which idea you like the most. Oh my God. 3 amazing ideas to make a $7 ebook. I mean, those are good topics, right? Would those sell? Who knows? Whatever your business is, go into ChatGPT and ask it, what kind of digital product can I create for XYZ business? Right? We think in our own little boxes, and it's so important that we have some sort of helper. My free intern ChatGPT helping me with this stuff. It's just amazing. So think about that in your face. Yeah. Okay, that's our 5 topics today. Tune in next week. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. We might extend some of these topics if ChatGPT thinks it's worth it. I'm going to be feeding in my 308 pages of blog posts, and I'm going to be using that for ChatGPT to help me pick out topics that I could talk about during the show. So who knows what we might talk about. But anyway, thank you to everyone. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about, what's tomorrow? Tuesday. Indigenous allyship. So see you tomorrow. Okay.